What's up, Miniatures Paintbrush Legion? Welcome to another episode of Pro Painted. Today, we're joined by someone who really doesn't need an introduction. However, he has performed 3 times a week, every week, in front of hundreds of fans. Twice weekly, he teaches the joys of miniature painting as well, encouraging audience to share their works in public displays. And furthermore, once a week, he does a live podcast of The Long War with advice and motivation to hobbyists as well. He's been in the tabletop gaming since the late 90s. Joined Spiky Bits in around 2011 and communicating his vast knowledge of articles of how to paint miniatures and even more. He's not just a name, but a brand synonymous with top-tier miniature painting in the world of tabletop wargaming. He is a creative force of next-level painting. He's earned this place and respected authority among all hobbyists in the community. Along with Rob, he co-founded and co-hosts the Long War podcast, which has well over 400 episodes. And his unparalleled skills, innovative techniques, and engaging tutorials have made him the go-to source for hobbyists looking to elevate their painting game. The man has edgelords up for sale. If you want that, hit him up for that. And he's hitting you up with the literal best of all days. I'm like, I grew up to that phrase. I could say that in the miniature hobby. Celebrating 10 years on Twitch. And always has the phrase, always clean that tip, you know. And if he had a superpower, it would be to make people poop on command. He is the Jack Black of miniature painting. The one, the only, Kenny Boucher. What's up?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Oh, man, it is awesome having you here. The absolute legend, the man that innovated me to start picking up that paintbrush and just throwing paint on it. Let's get started, right?
It's funny. So we did a rehearsal of this because we lost the recording.
We did.
And it's funny because I heard this intro now twice. And there's something in there that I remember last time I wanted to comment to, but I forgot, because we started talking. So you talk about joining Spiky Bits and becoming like an article writer on Spiky Bits. The joke there is I've never written an article in my life.
Oh no.
It's basically, it was, in the old days, I mean, like the Spiky Bits was like a blog, like literally on Blogger. Yeah. And then it's become a lot over the years. But it was a way, because me and Rob work together on we have a business together with the podcast and everything. We've been business partners for years. It was a way he was like, look, I want you to have articles about your painting videos. It'd be a lot doper if you wrote the article, right? And I was like, that's never going to happen, Doug. I'm basically illiterate. And he's like, look, man, I'm going to have a guy do it. But I want you to have an author profile so that it's better SEO for you.
Right.
I was like, oh, man, thanks, dude. So when you look it up, it looks like I'm this prolific article writer.
Yes.
Like I've written like 50,000 articles. Bro, I've written one article, and it was about Chaos Space Marines when we got that like new Legion book between editions. It was the coolest thing ever. Then we got a new edition, and it didn't matter. Yeah. So I wrote this like one amazing article, and then 3 weeks later, it was irrelevant. I was like, Rob, that's what I get. That's what I get. Writing is dumb. Don't do it.
You're talking to a teacher.
I never needed it. It's like learning the quadratic equation. I've never used it. Reading, never used it. Writing, never used it. It's never come up once.
Interesting.
Right? No, I'm teasing. But that's a funny piece of anecdotal history. Yeah. Like I've written. Also, I did once famously publish an article. Oh, that was just the word "dick" 50,000 times.
Are you serious? You're serious.
It was an accident. It was an accident.
What? Pray tell.
Along the same lines, he's like, you need an author profile. I had that, and he's like, look, this is going to make things a lot easier in the new system. This is years and years ago. It's not like this anymore. But he's like, what I need you to do is just like save a bunch of drafts. I'm going to give you a password to go into to the WordPress and everything under your profile. And you need to just do an article draft. article, draft. He's like, you don't have to write anything. I don't care. He's like, you just have to save them as drafts, and my writer can come in and just edit the drafts.
Yeah.
And then it'll publish, right? But it's like, but you have to create the drafts. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, what, do you want me to write something? He's like, you can write anything you want. I don't care. Like, you can write dick. It doesn't matter. You can write dicks 100 times. Doesn't matter.
You took that literally.
And then he was like, but just don't press publish. Just press draft.
Right.
I was like, and so like I was thinking this, I was on it, bro. I was like, I was like, Control A, Control C, Control V, Control A, Control C, Control V, Control A. I was just like, just creating documents, just repeat, right? And I was like, save, draft, copy paste, draft, copy paste, draft, copy paste, draft, copy paste, publish.
Oh no.
I was like, ooh, and the RS feed, it like is it went out there, bro. It's long before AI and shit, right? So people were like, SpankyBits has been hacked. All this has happened. Oh my god! And Rob's like, yep, we were hacked. We dealt with it. We're back to normal, guy. We got hacked.
Oh man,
actually happened. Piece of history.
Wow.
So he doesn't let me do that anymore. He doesn't let me touch stuff anymore.
That's a smart decision. Well, you don't enjoy it, so.
I mean, AI's made it a lot easier for me. AI was like invented for like my kind of ADHD.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot to say, but it takes me a long time to say it in a written way.
Right.
And what I like to do is just like stream of conscious, just spit it out to AI, like like on the press the little button, right, where it's just hearing me talk.
Yeah.
I just blast it. This is what I want. This is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm like, make it sound like a guy who can actually wrote it.
There it is.
So that's so if you ever see me write something in a post and it looks a little too good to be true.
Now I know. Oh my gosh. So questions. First question is, how did you start into this hobby? What did you start into? And what inspired you to get into minis?
How I got into the hobby and what inspired me to get into the minis. My brother got me into the hobby.
Nice.
Right. He dragged me to a Hobby Town USA in Miami, Florida when we were teenagers.
Nice.
He said, I want to get into this hobby. Let's do it. I'm like, why would I do that? We got an N64. We're playing Smash Brothers, NWO, WCW Revenge. We're playing GoldenEye. I don't need any of this. It's dumb. And he's like, you'll see. And it's like, people playing Magic games. Like it's so nerdy. I was like, no, this is nonsense. And so so he got me into it because this model inspired me. And he took me to the 40K rack, all old pewter 3rd edition, because I think 3rd edition was just dropping.
Yeah.
And I saw Abaddon the Spoiler, a Chaos Sorcerer,
nice.
Karn the Betrayer, and a Dreadnought. And I was like, okay, I'm in. You got me. He's like, I'll spend my allowance money if you just play with me, Kenny.
Oh man.
And then we got that 3rd edition Dark Eldar Space Marine box. And rest was history.
What made you try to get into painting to that next level? What took you there?
So art, I've always been an artist, right? So I've been drawing comics since I was a kid. I've been very incentivized by my parents. My dad always supported whatever I was trying to do. If I needed colored pencils, if I needed whatever, he was very supportive. My parents were. So anything artistic, I approached it with that training. And also I do have a commercial art degree, a graphic design degree, not at the collegiate level, at technical level, right? Like, so my dad was also a technical instructor, so he was all about vocational skills. So I was actually like going to a trade school at this like share time while I was in high school still.
Oh wow!
For commercial art. So anything I did was art, like was that, right? And what I like to say on the subject is commercial art is basically the idea of repeatable, sustainable results, right? The techniques have to be attainable and sustainable in order to get paid.
Yeah.
If you apply those principles to any art, that art will be better. I mean, and that's so a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I always like to say is like all art is about validation, which is simply the idea that someone who's not your mom comes up to you and says, "Man, those are some sweet minis. That's tight." And that's art, is getting that validation, right? In art, like songs need to be heard, movies need to be watched, right? Books need to be read. Like it takes someone who's not the artist to validate that art.
Right.
And so when people don't realize that or like reject that, they end up on like subreddits and what I like to call masturbation cocoons.
Oh my gosh.
Like where you're just in this echo chamber, just of people who have made exactly the same artistic errors you have, same mistakes.
Right.
Rather than like look for inspiration, look for ambition, you rather just assume that everyone else is really not tight. You are secretly tight, and you need to go find people who feel exactly the same way as you so that we can not get better, not get good, right?
Yeah.
And so you need validation in art to, like, that's the fuel of the artist. And so commercial art teaches me that there's no higher form of validation than money. Like Michelangelo, right? Like, I mean, you think you painted a Sistine Chapel for free?
No.
That's the sickest commercial art contract in the game, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that mentality, that training, being a graphic illustrator style training, and a comic artist training. I failed a job interview with Dark Horse Comics when I was simultaneously failing at college because I'm not good at school. it's bad for me. But all of that is why, like, I drew Goku 1,000 times.
Right.
Like it, you know what I mean? Like a week, like to make it as good as I could. Right. So like getting into miniatures was a constant pursuit of how to make them attainable and sustainable.
Right.
Right. How to make it a repeatable result, but also like I wanted to look better than other people's. That motivation. Right. And I have an anecdote for you on that. So my brother, we're teenagers. Whatever the Christmas is that the Significant Other album from Limp Bizkit dropped.
No.
I got that for Christmas. We're on Christmas break in my Beats lab, aka my bedroom, my parents' house, and we're just 2-week Christmas break, just cranking out a squad of Terminators and these Scouts. Man, we think we're the greatest painters on earth, man. We're in our masturbation cocoon, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? We're in it, listening to that CD on repeat for 2 weeks, just like cranking it out. And we had thought we had produced the greatest squad of Terminators ever made, the greatest captain and Terminator ever made, greatest squad of Scouts ever painted, And we're like, okay, we did it. Now we're going to go back to Hobbytown USA and show them what we did, right? Like, so I remember walking around, I got the Terminator captain in my pocket. We're like walking around, so waiting for conversation, see where the 40K guys are so we can pull this thing out. And this guy, he's standing there with a display board, which is a chess set.
Wow.
Right. That he painted to have the Imperium versus Chaos as all the pieces.
Wow.
There's an Abaddon, there's a Marnius.
That's awesome.
There's everything, bro. This is like the pewter days, bro. Like the pawns are all the plastic, Marines. It's all he has them on little plinths, so it's like a chessboard with little felts on the bottoms.
Wow.
The chess, I mean, bro, it was so legit.
Yeah, sick.
I looked at that, I was like, David, we gotta get out of here. We're not ready for this heat. We just got served, son. We need to go back to the Beats lab.
Yeah.
Get out of the echo chamber. And so that was a defining moment.
Absolutely. I'm still trying to, because Swenson doesn't live too far from me. Trying to get into a group where we could sit and paint and get feedback. That would be amazing.
See, and that's something about today's world that's very different about those days.
Yeah.
Those days, you didn't know, no one knew anything.
Yeah.
There was no content. There was no information. There was a couple of books. GW put out a book 2003 or something.
I remember that. I had it.
It was a good book.
Yeah. Wasn't
it was good, but we didn't the thing is dry brushing. That was magic when I first saw that. You know what I mean? It's this is a thing.
Yeah.
People kind of guarded their techniques.
They did. I bought a couple of how to paint CDs, and I think it was Painting Buddha. That was one that I really followed when I was younger. And I was just obsessed with glazing but then again, I was glazing like, I don't know, after 300 coats, it was a little too much. But I did everything to the extreme. Yeah.
There was no defined technique,
No.
back at and so that's kind of what I had to do on my journey toward opening my business, right? Starting my commission painting studio is what let me finally, and that was 2010. Like all this sort of happened. This is like, I still wasn't there yet. Yeah. It was doing it for money on a timeline that was equitable, right? That forced me to condense all the knowledge I had into a system of attainability and sustainability, which is what I teach today on my Patreon page. Is that journey, like what I did in those years to put out 2,000 points every 2 weeks. Yeah. And now it's been reverse engineered, put into a syllabus, and it's teachable.
So many armies. Do you ever burn out?
Yeah, we've talked about that. Like burning out. I mean, like straight up, like painting's boring, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like it's not. It's like I play games, right? So I'm a gameplay first guy. So just sitting here and painting without knowing it's gonna be in my army list, I can't do it. Like that's not fun to me, right? Or for validation, money, right? Like that's fun. I love that.
Yeah.
But just sitting here, like I'd rather play video games, and those are my two things. So I'm either playing video games or I'm painting. Right. And so if I'm working on a project, it's not too difficult to motivate myself because I'm really excited about finishing my project.
Right.
Right. But I always tell people, if you're working on your project and it's starting to kind of piss you off and you want to play that video game, go play a video game. It's the best medicine for curing the burnout, is just go do something else. And you have two hobbies. I recommend video games alongside minis. You need something that is dopamine city. You know what I mean? Something that's just like instant gratification dopamine.
Yeah.
To be so it's so opposite to this. And that's to recharge, right? And then also listen to Audible book. Like I have an Audible subscription. I listen to audiobooks while I paint. And so I have positively reinforced myself to enjoy story time through the act of painting.
I usually watch you while I paint or Audible.
I see. I try not to watch things because then I'm watching things.
Right.
But if you're listening, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm listening along. I don't usually say much, but I'm like, I'm just painting to see what Kenny's doing.
I feel like a lot of people do that because it is like having a responsive person that's just in the background, that you kind of listen to talk radio, like this. Yeah. I used to love that on the way to work.
Absolutely. So I have a couple of questions for you. I think some people in my audience actually asked me these questions, and I'd love to partake that and ask you these. So, two-part question, really. The big things that always drew them to your style are the way you make your miniatures absolutely pop, and super smooth, high contrast gradients, and your airbrushing. So the questions are, how did you develop your trademark painting style, and what advice would you give to someone who wants to emulate your style? I guess bring it up to that 11 and bringing it down, get back down to that 10.
I mean, we've got a lot of nursery rhymes we've developed over the years, right? And a language, like a private, like kind of like course language, right? Like you have to teach the students to speak the same language so they can learn, like, always keep the tip clean, right? Take it to 11, not, take it back, wash it back to 10, all these ideas. But so first thing is take my classes, right? Like that's what they teach you. But all my stuff is also free to play, right? I'm a free to play content creator with a pay to win paywall, right? Like, so you can grind out your levels totally for free on the internet. And part of my signature style, to answer your question, was designed to make money. And with the airbrush, the step one is, how do we make the airbrush make us money? Well, what's the obvious answer? It saves time, right? Yeah. So we already know it does that. It saves time. But is that why airbrushes were invented? To save miniature painters time? No. Hell no. No, they're like, airbrushes are like from the 1800s, dude. They're not, they're old. Like like in acrylic paint is like the 40s. So like airbrushes were invented because they deploy a superior product.
Yeah.
So you need access to that superiority. And so if you're still using your airbrush for priming and base coats and in zenithal highlight garbage and it looks all grainy and speckly, you're just in the saves time part of this analogy, which is still cool, but that's not even half of what an airbrush can do. The airbrush will always save time. It's just built in. Superiority of product, of laydown, of sophistication in your transition game, right? And so once you understand that and how to do it, because like easier said than done, I'm sure many people listening to this have been frustrated by watching a video and then going to do it and then finding out that it's speckled and grainy and it still looks like shit and it's frustrating. Now you don't want to airbrush anymore and you just go back to slap chop or whatever.
Yeah.
So what I teach in all my videos and all my courses, basically lesson one is how do you operate the tool in such a way, and it actually is one of our secretly easy. Every one of my students has mastered it in 5 reps.
Nice.
But like it's not when you're just on the right track, it's so easy to do. And so then that's half of the answer. So once we know that we can do a superior product, right, and save time, how do we exploit optics? And so the human eye needs dark stuff, dark frames, dark borders, dark recesses. And that's how you perceive sharpness and focus, right? So if you think of camouflage, like on a fatigue, like, you know, hunting gear or whatever, what it is a lack of frames and borders, a lack of dark frames and borders, slightly harder to focus on, right? So by putting frames and borders, the human eye is drawn to the focus. So how do we do that with an airbrush? By, so if you have a dark, a mid, and a bright tone, you want to have a bigger piece of real estate dedicated to the dark tone than you would normally dedicate. Most people have said, let's say you're painting an ultramarine and you've got a dark blue, a mid blue, and a sky blue. Most airbrush artists, 99% of the real estate is the middle blue, right? Because that's the color of the ultramarine. So by giving a higher percentage of your real estate to the dark tones, will start to exploit this optics, right? And make you look at it more, and then having an explosive highlight, right? Which that's where it gets a little tricky because now you need accuracy, right? That's where you have to get tighter and closer with the tool. And I'll tell you right now, the big secret to airbrushing is pull the trigger back less. Yeah. Right. Put more moisture in the pot. So one of our definitions is every technique has a moisture. Painting is moisture management and opacity, right? The airbrush is low opacity and low moisture, which is hard because in order to lower the opacity, you have to add moisture. So how do we achieve the definition? Pull trigger back less. So longer dark tone real estate, aggressive bright highlights with the airbrush, do superior laydown and superiority of product. That's where the signature idea came from. It's just exploiting like the ideas of graphic illustration and how the human eye works. Nice. It's engineered like to make money. Because when you look at mine, if I sell you an army, I need you to have no buyer's remorse. I need to have 100% validation. The second you take the models out of the box, I need you to be like, damn, right? That's how. And then from there, it's just normal techniques, right? Procedurally. How do you paddle line or pin wash or do a proper wash in general? And how do you do a clean edge highlight? Because that's like minis. Like, I don't care. Like, airbrushing is really cool and everything. Colors are really important, but you need to stop thinking about that stuff until you can precisely deploy washing and edge highlighting. Because like, if you can't precisely do those two techniques, best colors in the world don't matter.
Right. Yeah, I've been saying it. They got to master those edge highlights. You can't just leave it because then it's not perceiving those edges as well.
Yeah, I say the edge highlighting is like the Blu-ray DVD overlay, whereas the dark recesses is the image in focus.
Nice.
So I always say to people is like, you can technically watch a standard definition movie in focus, and that will still look better than an HD DVD movie out of focus. So if you had to skip one, skip the edge highlights,
Right.
but never skip dark panel lines or recess shading.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you use the idea of the airbrush the way I described it, that's a combo, right? Hella dark borders and frames.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not totally equal. Like value-based contrast is the key to 32 millimeters, meaning how darker the recesses are, brighter the edges.
Right.
They're both more important than colors. And of the two, the one that's more important is the frames and borders.
Mm-hmm.
And that just comes from like how I make minis, produce them, sell them, my client's happy. Like all of it, that's where all of that came from.
Yeah. That's awesome. Another question, thank you. Another question the viewer asked was, what external influences have influenced your painting styles, whether it's comics, anime, classic painters, TV shows, nature, or possibly some other visual impacts?
Obviously comics.
Yeah.
Anime, 90s comics. Jim Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Probably goated comic artist of all time. McFarlane is pretty good too. I like watching his content on because he came in hot with the digital with Photoshop.
Oh, yeah.
And like he still bangs out like awesome like drawings of the day on his Wacom tablets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's still tons of value. And for a while during COVID, Jim Lee was streaming and he was doing everything of Sharpies.
Wow.
And if you could go back and watch like old content, there's like an old video floating around on YouTube you can find where it's like Stan Lee doing a demonstration of how they draw comics. Yeah. And it's Stan Lee and Jim Lee. And what Stan Lee innovated was the idea that you wrote a plot, then drew it, then filled in the dialogue bubbles.
Right.
Where before that, a lot of people were writing the dialogue and making the artist draw scenes to dialogue. Mm-hmm. And that's where Marvel went a completely different direction than the market and kind of took it by storm. Was he worked? So he's doing it right there with Jim. And he's like, okay, in this scene, because he's got the plot points in his storyboard already. Mm-hmm. He's like, we have our hero looking down the hallway, villain holding a hostage. We're looking over the hero's shoulder, and he's stunned, and the villain is threatening. And he's gonna write the dialogue later. He has no idea what the dialogue is. He's not letting that mess with what Jim's doing.
Right.
Jim just has a set of Sharpies, bro, and he's just raw dogging these scenes with Sharpies.
Yeah.
I'm just like, my guy, what a beast, son. Like, so that kind of inspiration, that like heavy line work, really bold, thick borders, lines. That is 100% my inspiration. And if you look at manga, it's all lines.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it's all sick lines. Mm-hmm. So, like, good lines, 100% my inspiration. And then, obviously, you only have so much room to work with color. So, I'm not going to mess around with desaturated colors when I'm painting minis. Like, I mean, you need desaturation. If I do, like, a belt buckle or some shit, sure. But, like, I want the most saturation that I can typically get from a hue that I have selected, which is still less important than those frames and borders.
Right.
And so definitely Jim Lee, Simon Bisley, another big inspiration for me. Yeah. I actually met him at MegaCon.
Oh, wow.
February.
Yeah.
He was there. Well, because now the Lobo movie's coming out, right? Mm-hmm. Or Lobo came out.
Yeah.
So he had done a famous Lobo cover years ago. And so he was there signing autographs. I was like, I want to see what he looked like. He looks like a hardcore biker with a big beard and a leather jacket.
So cool.
I was like, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's exactly what I needed you to look like. Heavy Metal magazine. You remember that? Heavy Metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a subscription for like 10 years.
Yeah.
That too.
Rock on, man. I love heavy metal. So, question. Have you ever won or gone into paintings award? And what do you think about painting competitions in general? I do compete for painting competitions, but not to win, more like just to be part of the show.
What I think of painting competitions is I think all art is innately competitive. Mm-hmm. I think that it is in our human nature to compete at all times. And one of the most OP things you could do is paint your army good, because now when you show up on the table, you've won something.
Yeah.
Right. Like you've won respect, you've won validation, you won something. So art is competitive, period.
Yeah.
And so I don't participate in painting competitions and throughout my career, mostly because I've already achieved as my predefined highest form of validation, which is every model I paint is I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm either commissioned in an army, selling a one-off or something. Right. So like I don't need my validation, but we do. We humans need validation. It's psychologically required.
Mm-hmm.
So since I have a business built around this, I don't have. It's not. It's like I'm already achieving a form of validation, and so that's to me an inferior form of validation because like water's not free, bro. I gotta buy a glass of water. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a water bill. so that's in my business brain why I don't. But I have actually judged many painting competitions, virtual, remote, in person. I've been a celebrity panel judge on many things. I wrote my own. We do the long war doubles at Adepticon, which and LVO, and we had 400 players this year at Adepticon for the long war doubles, which has a hobby score component that we wrote over. We've done it for 10 years. Like we have painting score. So like I have a team of painting judges that they're all my students. There's like 10 of them. Like, and the criteria is extremely effort based. And so I'm all in on being scored and having a competitive element to painting 100%. Right. As a matter of fact, many of my students who go through my course with the 101, which is our core techniques of airbrushing, washing, and edge highlighting, right? Pillar techniques. 201 course starts with what I call the final technique, which is glazing, right? Which opens up a little wet blending discussion as well. And then for the rest of 201, we cover effects, OSL, NMM, liquid, gems, jewels, all that stuff. Because like basically effects are procedures of how to reorganize techniques, right? It's an effect is a like a two-dimensional effect on a three-dimensional object. Right. It's a practical effect, right? So once you understand technique, procedure can be explained and technique can be done, right, to achieve effect. So after my students finish that course, which is mostly where my students end their journey, some students go to my 301 packet based on the post-course assessment form of the 201, and it's for them to figure out what they want to do for a project, right? It's the project management course. And many students pick, just through their own answers and their own questions on how they fill their form out, I want to go into painting competitions. It's a very common response, and easily the highest percentage of my students that I'm coaching in 301 is for painting competitions. So we have to do a lot of work on what judges want to see, because there's a subjective element to that, a prestige degree, like level, as a more artsy fartsy circle around that world. So I've taught you these techniques, but you can't just run into a painting competition just doing like a next level painting like idea of a paint job. That's typically not going to get the result from the judges you want. Right. So we have to like completely talk about that. And so I offer that service, all of it. I'm down. I judge for Cali Cup. I've judged for the Bolters at Dawn guys. I met them at COVID, bro. And they hit me up to start doing virtual judging in Ohio. And now I go out there every year to do a painting class for them.
That's amazing.
I'm all about competing, because spirit of competition makes you better. It makes you better stuff. You know what I mean? So it's subjective, but so what?
So would you consider yourself a professional painter? I mean, you're getting paid for it, right?
I'm literally a professional artist.
There you go.
That's like literally. Like I produce and move. I produce art and move it in exchange for income to pay bills. That's so where I'd say a lot of people you see on the internet these days. Like I'll use like a example of like a guy I love. I love like Goobertown Hobbies, right? Brett.
Yeah.
I love Scott the Maniac, right?
Yeah.
I love these guys, and they're more like professional entertainers, right? They're all sick at painting, but what I get from them is the sheer entertainment of watching their content. You know what I mean? Like when I listen to Brett talk, it's like the most interesting man in the world's talking. Like I just like listen all day, you know. And then when I watch videos from Miniac, he produces them in such a way that are very engaging.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then when I watch somebody like Sam Lenz, it's like I can't learn anything from that guy. He's a wizard, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's like watching an old episode of How It's Made. Like, they're at the steel factory showing you how ball bearings are made. And I just can't look away because it's so fascinating. So, so you're watching a master produce, and it's almost like that's almost the point of watching, right? Me as a dedicated commercial artist, right? Everything is instructional, dumbed down to words and lessons that can be taken and have instant success on multiple tiers of quality. Right? It's all from my commercial art background. So I love watching all these guys. But I would say a lot of people online or entertainers or professional video creators. I'm like a terrible video creator. like my videos are weak, son.
I mean, I try. It takes up so much time, and teaching and doing that it's tough. So I put out a video every now and again. Video editing is definitely one of the banes of my existence and stops me from painting. So do you have any new exciting projects that you're doing? I know you're selling your edgelords. Is there a new army you're leaning into this time?
Yeah, I have to sell my armies. That's the rules,
right?
Like that's the rules, right? Like it's the business. And so traditionally my rule is as soon as I start looking at the next project, I got to start figuring out how to sell the old project because I need it gone. So I stay motivated because if I still have the old one, like I'm like, I got a tournament in a couple of weeks. I can just play my old shit and then I don't paint my new shit. Right. So I need it gone. And I'm not a collector, so I don't care. Like I get the dopamine hit from finishing the project. Right. That like project completionism is like, I love it. Right. And I even get this thing I call post-project depression.
Really?
Like when I finished a project and now I don't have a project, I'm like, no, sad. And so, so I'm looking into, I always like to start any new edition of the game with a low model count army. I want the most amount of points for the least amount of actions.
Custodians.
So, right. So that way I can be out there in the market with something fresh.
Right.
And then I don't care how optimized it is. We're learning the new edition. We're playing the new game. Then I can make this real decisions based on new rules changes, new balance updates. And then, so the hardest 2,000 points is always the first 2,000 points. After that, it's just like on a Saturday, I got to paint a dreadnought. Now I want a new squad of this. I'll do that next weekend. Right. Like, so now your 2,000 point turns into 7,000 points by the end of the year. Once you can get that through that first core. So I always look for big splash. So like with my current Chaos project, I knew it was going to be a Lord of Skulls. And with the way allies worked, I can have 3 war dogs. So I've got a lot of armor coverage, right? And then it was just building out the more annoying infantry units, and then I had the army the way I wanted it. And so so what I'm thinking is I need exactly 9 models for my next project. 9 models representing the 9 members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
There you go.
So knights.
Nothing to mess with. Oh my gosh. That's great. So
yellow and black.
Black and yellow. So are you gonna do Custodes, or are you doing something bigger?
It's gonna be Knights.
Yeah. Knights.
Yeah, it's gonna be House Wu-Tang.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, you gotta inspire me to paint my knights. You need to stop.
Every one of them is gonna be a named knight, name of a member.
I love it.
Can only be 9.
Love it.
And I gotta even come up with maybe some dope transfer sheets or some cool things.
Definitely, man. Is there a model you've ever regret painting and want to repaint? Like you go back and you're like, man, I don't know, I've gotten better now. Can I go back and paint that? But you sell your army, so that's not an issue for you.
I mean, you always get better. So like, pretty much every model ever, every model ever could be improved on.
Absolutely.
So people say like, what is the saying, right? Like perfectionism is like the enemy of the
Of
completionist.
completion. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
Enemy of done. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's like I don't want you to focus on being I don't want you to not finish projects.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, if you feel like you have that issue, like you feel like you're a bit of a perfectionist and you never know what's done, like what I always tell my students when they say that is I'm like, good. That's a superpower, bro. Like, ride that high. Like, pursue that. Because that's how you know what I mean? That's like, but if it's standing in the way of project completion, then you gotta come to me and I'll show you techniques that are attainable, repeatable techniques. But I never want someone to deprogram their perfectionism out of their art. Like, go hard, bro.
Yeah. Yep. I'm always pushing myself because I know Eric Swinson and Vince V is in the competitions that I go for. And if I want to, and I'm playing in their league, if I want to do that, then I have to just bring it. Like really bring it. Mm-hmm. Although I'm friends with Vince, so I'll tell you, I'll just text him and say, what do you think?
Vince is a great guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. So your favorite army, if you had to pick one. That's a tough one.
Well, the one like just faction wise, or like what I painted.
Faction wise.
It's Chaos. That's where I started. Chaos Space Marines.
United, or is there one? Oh, okay, nice.
I started with Chaos Space Marines. Then I went to Nurgle early on. So if I had to pick a sub faction, a Legion, it'd be Death Guard for sure. But but I started with straight Chaos Space Marines. I got into Nurgle before we had rules. Like, we didn't have rules that were like, this is a Death Guard. We had to like look in the book and like learn that Death Guard is even a word. You know what I mean? Like, you had to like hunt that information. They're just called Plague Marines. You know what I mean? So I went that direction early on, was the Plague Marine direction.
Oh, that's cool. Definitely. Any armies you see, knowing the 11th edition rules and what they've released, anything that's standing out to you as far as being overpowered or strong enough to?
I typically like to go into new editions. Like, I like to get hype on what they leak, but I've been in the game so long, I know better than to put too much brain power into it. Because I've been burned by it before. So I really don't care. Like, I just, whatever's going to be the catalyst of cool for me is how I typically approach an edition. Or if you have an army that you're playing right now, you're going to be looking at how your army is affected.
Right. Yeah.
Like, how am I going to play this edition with what I have? Right. So close combat looks really strong.
Yes.
So if you're a hand-to-hand combat enjoyer, you should be fine.
My wife blows me off the table with her Tau that I painted for 6 years. And I'm looking forward to this edition because my Space Wolves are going to get in. It's going to get in the mix.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting close combat rules. And we had Spathos on our podcast recently, prolific 40K player. And he plays like World Eaters and like G-Slip Cult, and he loves close combat. And he's like, this is going to be a good edition, guys. And he walked us through like why. Really in detail a couple episodes ago. Nice. Check it out.
Absolutely. So are you how do I say this? So when it comes to getting your materials and getting your painting stuff, are you blind loyal? Is there a brand of paint that you use? Are there brands of brushes that you use? Do you prefer Kolinsky sables, and for what? Or synthetics, and for what do you use those purposes for?
So typically, as a tradesman, I would say like tools matter.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you want to have the right tool for the job, for sure. And so over the years of trying so many different tools, I think that Monument Hobbies is mostly a one-stop shop now. So you almost don't have to leave their website now.
Yeah.
Like their paint's top tier, the value's there, the quality's there. I really am into synthetics now. I like especially their synthetics. Really, he turned me on to them because I wasn't a fan before. And then he sent me a bunch to demo live, and he was like, he was like badgering me in chat, like Jason. He was like, just try it, just try it, just pull it out. I was like, man, I don't like this. I like Sables, and sure enough, man. So now I'm addicted to his Pro Synth line. Number 4 is I love the number 4. The one of them is the number 6. That is was the back when he was still doing like before he did signature paints. It was actually the Sam Lens brush pack.
Oh wow, yeah, nice.
So the big number,
yeah.
So the big number 6, which came from that, that's one of my favorites. The big fat number 6, the number 4. They have a X10 I like too. Little guy, I like the little guy too. So like when it comes, so I like synthetic brushes, specifically theirs over Sables now. Their brush soap is top tier. Their paints are top tier.
Wow.
So like it's really for my for that type of hobby supply, really just their website.
I definitely have to check that out. Do you think they'll ever come out with another batch of Sam Lens's pack? Because that was amazing.
Well, they're all out there in the line.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
I
don't know if I don't know if it's still on the website as like a purchase order, but those brushes are just on their website.
Right. Do you recommend an airbrush?
Oh well, so branding wise, airbrush, you can typically get away with practically any airbrush that's cost about $100. What I recommend to people is about $100 price point. You don't want it. You don't want your nozzle too much smaller than a 0.3 or too much bigger than a 0.35.
Right.
If you follow those rules, practically any airbrush online will get the job done. I use the Mr. Hobby Krios is the one I like right now. It's exactly what I just said. It's got a built-in Mac valve, which I like a lot.
Nice.
Which is better than having an inline Mac valve. It's a 0.3. It's about $100. It's like an Awad Eclipse clone, where I love the Eclipse, but the Eclipse is like kind of priced you out now, and I don't think their quality is not the same as they once were. If you look at the serial numbers that are printed on the side, they're like I have my original Awada still.
Right.
It weighs twice as much as a new Eclipse.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, so this one, so the new ones are half the weight and cost twice as much. I don't like that. That's the, you know what I mean? That's like, cutting corners and charging more business model. I don't like that.
Right.
I'm not saying they're not good. They're good, but $100, follow the rules. You'll be fine, but don't be buying no $25 Masters airbrush.
No.
Like that's not going to do anything. People are like, well, I use it for base coats. I use the same airbrush for everything. So my base coats are going to be better because my airbrush is better. My varnishes are going to be better because my airbrush is better. Nice. You know what I mean? Like my primer is going to be better because my airbrush is better. So I don't use trash airbrushes for anything because nothing is a trash technique. Everything is important.
Right.
And the same thing goes for things like washing. A lot of people use like a shitty wash brush. I'm like, no, washing is important. You know what I mean? Like you need a good brush. Yeah. Like all techniques are valid, and so airbrush is the same way.
Definitely. So metallic paints, they usually chop up your brushes. You don't use something like a throwaway brush for those?
I'll just clean my brush.
Okay.
I used the brush soap from my Hobbies website, and maybe it's because I use synthetic brushes now. I don't know. I don't really have a problem. Like ever since I switched over 100% to their synthetic sable, it's
definitely
amazing.
Have to try that out. I definitely have to try that out. So, what new projects are you working on? Are you going to attend? Are you going to be in the Nova Open?
No. No, not going to be at Nova. I typically just go to 2 big ones a year now.
Yeah.
I go to Diptychon, I go to LVO.
Right.
I've got obligations at both. I used to go to like 10 a year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not these days. So we run events at both of those events. Okay. And also I like to play at LVO, you know?
Nice. I definitely have to attend those.
Oh yeah. I mean, Adepticon for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's so big now. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like I miss the more intimate venue that we used to have, but it is a true spectacle to behold, and it's like the Gen Con of miniatures now.
That's awesome.
It's worthy. So yeah, and then I go to a lot of smaller places in between, and now we run our luxury wargaming event, Bourbon and Bolters. We successfully pulled that off in January.
Nice.
And we're halfway through ticket sales right now for next January. So
Awesome.
Bourbonandbolters.com.
I'll check that out too. Oh yeah, a lot of things going on. Well, you are a prolific painter and definitely one of my heroes coming through.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
How old are you?
I am 52.
Thank God. Fucking first off, Hispanics, get out of here with your nonsense. with your utter nonsense. Like I'm 43. You're like 10 years older than me.
Mm.
And if we walked anywhere, everyone would say you look younger. But same thing with my wife, bro. It's the same thing, bro. Yeah. She, I'm like, babe, I either have to start dyeing my beard or you have to stop dyeing your hair. Like, because I'm like, we're the same age. She's 40. Right. I'm like, our aging is looking more and more problematic every year. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I look like your dad now. Like, this nonsense. But my younger people, the reason I asked, are saying now, like, I've run into 30-year-olds are like, oh, I grew up watching your videos. Yeah. Which hurts my soul a little. But it's like, it's true. I've been doing this for 16 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. Like if you started watching my videos around 16 years ago,
yeah,
and you're 30 now.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn.
When I say grew up, I mean starting into the hobby and painting, because I took this huge long break from the 90s and then I transitioned. So
I do hear that a lot of people told me that my videos got them back into the hobby. And I do take a lot of pride in that. Yeah. And I feel honored when people say that, because that's kind of the intent, right? The intent is, and I've had this argument with people over the years, because you got to make money, right? You got to have a business. It's got to make money. And I'm not like some prolific businessman. I am not. But I've had this argument. People are like, oh, well, the way to make money is to come up with the best product, right? And I'm like, well, I agree, but the way you should make money is to come up with the best way to make money.
Right.
Because then you will discover that in doing so, the only way to make money is by having a good product. Right. But if you start to, you got to just jump in and my videos were trash. They were garbage. I was figuring it out. Right. The product wasn't there, visually, but the content was what we were sharing. Was stuff that nobody was sharing. Yeah. When we first started on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And so the idea was, and I wasn't making any money. I wasn't making any money on YouTube, bro. Like I've never have. I made the most amount of money I've ever made on YouTube in a month is $200.
Wow.
I've never, bro, this is just I was commission painting. I was making my own money commissioning. YouTube was just a way to let people know what I was doing. Maybe I had to get a couple more clients, but I didn't, but I had a queue, bro. I had every month of the calendar year was full. So it wasn't like I could make more. I was maxed. So it was really just a way to share what we were doing, because we had an endless line of models coming in and out and nobody was airbrushing. It was By Painted and Les Bruce Lee were the only other airbrushers. And there's another guy, Brandon Palmer from GMM Studios, but he doesn't make content. Right. He's secretly the greatest commission painter of human history. But
wow,
if you know him, you know. If you don't, and he taught me. He didn't teach me. He convinced me. Airbrushes was actually a part of my training as a commercial artist. We use old Badger Patriots.
Yeah.
But he's the one who convinced me to apply it to this. And then my mom actually bought me my first airbrush.
Nice.
She was doing she had an eBay store. And she was like, we can work together on pushing things out. I was like, I need an airbrush. I was just broke living in a trailer park, bro. So she sent me an Iwata Eclipse in the mail.
Nice. That's
awesome. Airbrushing real good. But yeah, that's to close the circle on that statement. The videos are out there forever. I don't make new YouTube content, but I do live stream twice a week. Right. I feel like I've done every video that can be done when it comes to how to paint a thing.
Right.
So when people say, I really wish you would come back to YouTube, they're saying because this new Imperial Fist model dropped, I was bro, I got 12 Imperial Fist videos. Making it with the new model doesn't change the content.
That's right.
I've already have it, you know what I mean? None of that changes the content.
Right.
So I don't care. I don't chase an algorithm. I'm not trying to, I've never been viral.
Right.
It's literally the body of work exists, and there's places for you to contact me to learn more. I'm perfectly fine with that business style. Perfectly okay with where I'm at in life now. Like, can I do more? I can, but I'm not going to. Like, I am extremely comfortable with how happy and how fun this still is.
Yeah.
If I was still pushing like it was 2013, I would absolutely have burnt out by now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So do you still commission paint, or you have left that and are solely doing this model here?
So what I do now is, because times change, models change, right? Like, so Twitch, so all money is down on the internet, right? And so I've left a lot of money on the table to not be a commission painter anymore.
Right.
Right. Like, I had almost like for mental health, right? Like, too many years, too much burnout, like falling asleep in my chair every day at 4 a.m, like, just got to get these projects, right?
Yeah.
So the model I use now, which I recently reintroduced, I call it sponsored content. So I do single model commissions. What they are is sponsored videos. Like, so you would sponsor by paying a fee,
right,
a model that I will create a tutorial for on Twitch, send you the model back, and we're done as a learning aid. No transfer of ownership has occurred. It's a loaner, by the way. But you don't have to, you have to return it to me within 99 years.
Oh, wow.
So the reason I do it that way is because sales tax.
Right.
I don't sell anything.
Wow. Wow. That's smart.
Florida sales tax. Because when I lived in California, I was actually small business exempt. So like in California, if your business is like less than $1 million a year, you're exempt from sales tax.
Nice.
As soon as I came to Florida, Florida's cheaper to run a business in many ways, but also they nickel and dime you in a ton of other ways.
Right.
And that was one of them. And so yeah, I do single minis, and I sell my projects. I can be talked into certain things, but my prices are preposterous. And like, no lie, like it's because my business is about education now. Like when I went to videos, it was, when you pay a commission for someone, it's like 1 + 1 = 2. I have helped someone enjoy the hobby. That makes me feel good. I also I received income for it. Makes me feel good. But now I want to feel even better. How do I feel even better? What if I show you how to do that? And that's what the videos were, showing you how to do that. So now we're doing algebra equations, not 1 + 1 = 2 anymore, right? And now with our course and our curriculum, it's been empirically refined. I've graduated almost 500 students personally. That's my focus. That makes me feel good, knowing that my students can have success and have happiness on the battlefield, have their dopamine, have their validation. And now that I've downsized, I've mitigated expense, live in Florida now. I don't need to burn myself out, fall asleep in my chair every day with no breaks. Like, bro, I have weekends off now.
That's awesome.
Like, I didn't take weekends off until 2023.
Right.
Like, wow. I didn't take a Saturday off.
Wow.
Nothing. So it's like, so I had to leave money on the table, but I live somewhere cheaper. So that, in peace of mind, as a business advice, if anyone is trying to get into the game, the longer you wait to achieve peace of mind, the more money it will cost you.
Oh yeah.
So it cost me a lot to get it at 43, but it wasn't too late. Like, it wasn't too late. Like, think about like some guy who sunk his entire career to some big ass company, and now he makes like $400,000 a year, and he's got like stock options and like partnership stuff. For that guy to get peace of mind, I mean, that's everything, right? Like, so like moving to Florida was peace of mind. Meeting my wife, getting married, peace of mind. And I have a much more rich life now than I once had, where I could actually focus more on the thing that makes me happy, which is showing people how to paint versus painting for people for money.
Right. Right.
Much more validating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, if I may ask, how'd you meet your wife?
But it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So the anecdote This is what I tell people when they ask this question. This is straight facts.
Mm-hmm.
This is a factual, no, I'm not adding anything to this story. So when I came down to Florida, I smashed and grabbed, left Cali with basically just my Ford Ranger, filled with my streaming equipment, my studio, and clothes on my back.
Wow.
Just left. My former situation came to an end, and leaving was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And so I rolled over to my mom's house. And so I was on the road for a day, driving to Florida, and I called my mom. I was like, coming home, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Florida. It's where I was born.
Yeah.
I was born in Miami. I actually grew up in Hialeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came home. She let me set up and shop in the guest bedroom, started streaming from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm good. I'm single. I'm happy. And I'm like, my dad's like, oh, you'll meet a nice woman one day and you'll get married. I'm like, Dad, I'm 40, Dad. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with it, Dad. He's like, you'll see when it's right, it's right. I'm like, Dad, you don't know anything, you boomer. You know? And so then I'm messing around on the dating apps, Facebook dating, not getting a lot of traction, not liking what I'm seeing. And also, I'm not trying to date anyone near me. Because like I live in my parents' house and I don't want anyone in the same county as them, like having some like access to their facility. Like that's
right.
No. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not getting a lot of traction on it, but also not very hopeful. Then I go down to Miami for Christmas, and my brother still lives in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up, visit my nieces and everything and have a Christmas with them. And I'm staying in a hotel down the street. They're way down in like Homestead. I'm sitting in the adjoined Target that has a Starbucks built in.
Oh, yeah.
Grabbing like some coffees for them because they gave me their coffee order.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll grab some coffee. So I'm sitting there waiting for the coffee order, sipping on my drink, people watching in the Target. And then it hits me. I was like, man, Latinos. I'm like, this is my culture. That's when it hit me. I was like, this is where I was born. This is where I was raised. I didn't leave Florida until I was in my 20s. Every cultural input that I have in my brain, every friend, every party, every birthday, every hang sesh, everything we did was Caribbean culture. And I was like, man, and like having it all flood back in as I'm watching like that. Mm-hmm. I was like, got back on the dating app and started kind of messing with it, started playing with it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, you can't just put Latina in there. They don't let you. But there's definitely ways to trick it.
Right.
And then it was geo-pinging me on Miami. So I was like, oh, okay, because like my parents live in Central Florida, so
yeah.
So I'm like just messing through with the app, and it's tough on an app for a dude. Real talk, like you're throwing a lot of like, hey, how's it going out there to no responses, right? Like you can send 1,000 highs or hellos or whatever out there for one response a month, right? Like it's I don't have a lot of expectation. So I see a woman, I'm like, oh, I read her little bio. I was like, oh man, she's great. And I was like, okay, I gotta say hi to her, but I gotta use all of my brain power. Like I gotta hit this hard.
Right.
Because they don't let you can't just message them. Because like it's safe. That's not safe, right? You can't just unsolicit message people. But what you can do is comment on a photo. So if you long press, you can leave a comment. That's kind of how you make first contact outside of hearting them or whatever, right?
Right.
So she has a picture of her dressed in an outfit in her closet looking cute in front of her mirror. And I could see the background of her closet. And I was like, so rather than say like, oh, you're cute, you have a pretty smile, or you have nice eyes, I commented on the environment of her closet. And I noticed that she had a lot of shoes, like just everywhere. Like she had obviously just tried on. She got all these Crocs, like Pokemon Crocs, everything. Nice. It's a disaster, man. Because obviously she was trying them on. And I just said, you got a lot of shoes. That's it.
Yeah.
And so she felt the need
to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And And she's like, I almost didn't say nothing. She's like, you look so ridiculous. Your profile picture is so ridiculous. Why did you even have that profile picture? She's like, you look ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But she was like swiping off on me. She was like, man, fuck this guy, you know? But then she's like, you know what? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do have a lot of shoes. And then she felt an urge to post another picture of it all clean now and all organized.
Yeah.
She's like, see? And then that's how it started. And then we started talking in DMs. And then turns out she went to the same high school as me.
Wow.
Yep. Miami Sunset High.
So cool.
She went to the same game stores I went to. She was really into Pokemon and cards and anime. So she went literally she went to Lizards on Ice, which I actually worked there.
Huh.
And Alternate Dimensions is where me and my crew played 40K every weekend in 3rd edition, 1,500 points every Saturday. Nice. She was in there buying anime.
Wow.
So she would have been in there squeezing behind us nerds playing 40K. So we absolutely we're in the same room 100 times.
Wow, small world.
And I haven't been home for 20 years.
Yeah.
I haven't been back. You know what I mean? So
oh my goodness.
And so then we went to Puerto Rico and we got engaged in Puerto Rico, and then we got married last October.
Oh man, congratulations! That's amazing. That's amazing. Wepa, man.
That's right, baby.
All day, every day. So you mentioned your brother lives near. Do you actually still play with your brother 40K?
He plays MCP now, but he's talking about getting back into the game.
Okay.
It's been a long time since he's been able to put the investment into like the 40K commitment.
Right.
So he's really gone hard in MCP, which I have played with him. But he's actually getting kind of excited to start something for 11th.
That's
so
amazing.
It might happen.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'd love to be a fly on the wall while you guys played.
Bro, we played so many games, bro. I opened a game store back in the day. It was like one of our first business ventures.
Wow.
And we have a lot of fond memories of those days, and trying to recapture that would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it has been a delight to get to know you and hang out with you. And I'd love we can hang out some time. At one point, maybe if I'm in the Florida area, and I'll text you well in advance, maybe we can get to a game store and I'll have my wolves come out or something.
Bro, it's like look me dead in the eye and tell me you don't have family down here somewhere.
Yeah, I got family. I got family.
Bro,
I can't. I know.
I was like, yeah, there'll be a reason for you to come. Yeah, there'll be some reason to visit down here.
Yeah.
Bro,
absolutely.
I love it. Like the town I live in right now, the county I live in is 50% Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And it's like the best, bro. It's the best. Like the food is so good.
What's your favorite?
I like arroz con condules.
Con condules.
And I do like the habichuelas. Like I didn't like because like most of the stuff I ate when I was in Miami was like more Cuban, you know, which is not too dissimilar. There's a lot of overlap, but like I didn't know about the pink beans.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of pink beans. Yeah. I love. There's the pork and the like. I like the Cuban meats preparation more.
Oh yeah.
Right, they slap
the Cuban sandwiches. Yeah,
really nice. A Cuban sandwich. But what's the Puerto Rican bread?
Yeah. Oh, pan sopao or pan
de
agua? Sopao.
Yeah. We get that our basically our Walmart is just like stuff like that. And she pulls out the cafetera every morning for me, and she uses Cafe Cabustela in it, and she puts the sweet condensed milk, but it's like the Spanish, all the like you got
it good, man,
bro.
Yeah, you got it good.
It's like, bro, she makes Puerto Rican style white rice, and it's so good. I made rice once, and she banned me.
I did the same for my wife.
I am banned.
I
am banned for making rice. She just threw it in the garbage, and the Puerto Rican lady ain't trying to throw food away.
No,
that goes against their core.
Oh yeah.
Like she's like, this is garbage. I was like, you threw food away? She's like, this is a disgrace.
Oh my goodness,
bro.
This is how you make recao.
And I always tease her because of the way she's like, arroz. I was like, Puerto Rican accent's crappy. She's like, I don't have an accent.
Yeah. I know.
No, it's my God. I'm so happy being in Florida. Forgot about everything, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
That I got like one of the it was. I made fun of Florida for like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, yeah, Florida's hilarious. The place is stupid. Now that I'm back, I'm like, no, actually, this place is amazing.
Yeah.
Like the weather's great. The plant life is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The environment, the wildlife, the parks, the beaches, the people. Like it's so much nicer out here than I forgot. But I had to go on a whole 20-year journey. I was in Colorado. I was in North Carolina. I was in California. I had to be in all these different places
To realize,
you know, like to understand. Like I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Take it back to basics. Gotta come home.
there's no place like home, man.
Never been
place
happier,
like
bro. Facts. Yeah, but yeah, if you're down here, you should hang out and
yeah, that'd be amazing.
You know,
That'd be amazing.
And also there's other events. Hopefully we see each other at.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll keep in contact. I know we're friends on Facebook, so there's that. Yeah, man.
Accurate.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for joining you. Truly an honor to have you on this channel. You are a legend, and yeah, it was amazing. I mean, you're a pretty awesome dude. I always knew that from the videos, but talking to you, I really get to, and you being willing to do this a second time, folks. I messed up the first time and did not get any of the audio, and this is the second time. And not everybody will do that. Everybody is very fit for time. Not everybody would do that, but this man, he's a genuine article, man. He's a true brother, man.
I try to do what I can, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day to spotlight me. So to me, it's obvious I should make time for an honest mistake, but also just a rehearsal.
Yeah.
I feel like we did an even better job the second time.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting you up on the literal best of all days.
Oh, there it is. They used to amp me up every time I heard it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get my minis now. Yeah, absolutely.
Bro, it was like, and I remember people would like comment on some of those videos. They're like, "Oh, this fake ass cringe pro wrestler dude."
What?
I was like,
nah.
Facts. I was like, fine, yeah.
Nah,
I was raised by the. No, I used to have a membership to Porky's 24-hour Fitness in the hammocks in Miami, only because The Rock, when he was back in SmackDown era, he lived in the hammocks.
Yeah,
he literally worked out in that gym at 2 a.m. Sometimes between shows. I literally went to this gym religiously just to meet him.
That's amazing.
And you know what I mean? Like, bro, like, yeah, obviously my shit's inspired by, Attitude Era Wrestling and NWO and shit. Like, yeah. Hitting you up. I'm the literal best. You know, like, it's like, bro, obviously, man. Like, that was the great. Like, there will never be another era in pro wrestling and in general entertainment and TV programming. Like, that was so obviously it's in my it's informed me as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. I still love it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. And definitely we have to hang out some more. You are absolutely amazing. And I appreciate you coming to this show. Now, folks out there, remember, paint every miniature to increase some kind of skill. We want to get better at what you do. And may your backlog get ever smaller.